Yo, what is good and welcome back to Pokemon Infinite Fusion. My name is Vanity. Why not jump straight into it with the god of Pokemon himself, Arceus. We do have him here. But here we do have God in our hands, and let's see who we can fuse him with. I guess Necrozma is right here, so let's go ahead and jump straight into this one. All right, and here's Necrozma and Arceus' first route. Let's see what we get here. Hopefully this will raise all of my expectations again with some Crazy Fusion. Wow, and it does not fail to provide off rip. We have Necrozma, which is a crazy design. We have a whole rainbow coming out of his back. It's kind of like Arceus clad in armor, which is something you don't need to see just because of how strong Arceus already is. But here we have his designs as well as this other design, which unfortunately I can't see the face too well because the head of this one's just so damn big. But here is the other design, and overall it looks like those are the only two designs. But they're very cool looking designs, I cannot lie. These are both very fire and a very strong way to start off. Alright, next up we have Necrozma and Arceus' second route. Let's see what we got here. Again, we started off very strong with the last one. I'm sure this one will carry just as much fire aura, I guess you can say. Whoa, and we have almost kind of like an Ultra Necrozma form, right? So this is Arxma. So, I mean, I guess that would make sense, right? Ultra Necrozma would just be similar to Arceus, but wow, look at that design. I like the whole orb he's carrying. I like the green fire effects coming out of his arm. Very clean. Of course, he does have other sprites. What the hell is this? This is kind of like I don't even know what you could describe this as, like an alien or something. Very crazy. And these seem to be the only two sprites, but again, these are just insane. Alright, next up, let's try Arceus and Houndoom, which I mentioned last episode. Houndoom is just a mon that's always been pretty fire in my eyes, always had a very crazy design. Let's see if it carries it on here. And god damn, yes he does. Houndoom, that is such a badass design in my eyes. That is so crazy. I like the whole bone effects that's going on, the whole skeletal armor, right? And this one is just him with like the whole red effect, which is even somehow crazier than the last one. Well, I don't want to stick with this one. These are very crazy in design. Like, this is almost like a contender for something I want to stick with. Very fire. All right, let's check out Arceus and Houndoom's second route. Let's see what we get here. Maybe it'll be something just as crazy. Fingers crossed, right? I mean, I kind of don't feel like I have to be that worried about Arceus Fusions. They're so far coming out pretty crazy. And this is definitely keeping it going with Arcdoom. Very simplistic, but very fire design. Just Arceus giving his power to Houndoom, I guess you can say. All right, next up we have Arceus and Celebi. Let's see what we get here. Maybe something just as good or interesting. This is two legendary Pokemon, so I feel like any two legendaries gotta make something crazy, right? And that is insane. Celestius. I like the flowers it has coming out of it. Almost like a Venusaur type of effect. He has a tree on the right side. Kind of has like a little fairy head going on. Like obviously it's Celebi, but like has like the whole fairy aspect. Very fire. You do have other sprites. This is definitely the best one by far. This one's pretty cool just from the colorway. I like the whole lime green, but this is just unbeatable. Alright, next up we have Arceus and Celebi's second route. Let's see what we got here. Again, so far there has not been a single L fusion. So I mean, hopefully this might be just another good one. And again, so we have Arcbee. Again, very simple, but very fire. I like the whole, like, it's kind of like a little spirit almost. Kind of like an ascended form of Celebi, right? You do have other sprites, and you have this one, which, what the hell is this? That's like a whole, I mentioned Ascension just a second ago. This is what Ascension, I feel like, looks like, right? You got the whole Arceus wings, you have like the clear wings. You have like that whole, celestial aspect about you with all like the little sparkles around you, as well as I'm assuming you're holding the planet, or at least an elemental orb of some sorts, but nonetheless very fire. Yet again another design I would want to even think about sticking with, right? So I guess we'll stick with this one for now and move it on. Alright, next up let's try Bisharp and Arceus. Surely this will be something pretty crazy. I mean, sprite wise it definitely seemed fire. Like I mentioned the last fusion, I don't think I have anything to worry about with Arceus. I think none of his designs will miss, to be honest with you. And it's definitely looking right here, because what the hell is this? You have like the whole axe aspect, I guess, on your waist. It almost looks like you have armor as well. Very fire design. You're only sprite, but again, like I'm fine with you having these only sprites, or these single form sprites, because they're all so fire. All right, now let's check up Arceus and Bisharp's second route. Let's see what we got here. Surely something just as good. Okay, so we got Arc Sharp. All right, so I mean, this is obviously a reference to Bisharp's newly gained evolution. I think in Scarlet and Violet is when he finally got that form. I forget the name. I might have to quickly search it up here. That's right, his name is King Gambit. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I was not always the best fan of King Gambit. I just don't like how he went from like Bisharp's cool design to like, King Gambit is cool, don't get me wrong, I like the whole sword effect that has going on, but I just don't like how he literally sits on his hair that like he just creates, and that's like his whole battle pose. Again, not the best evolution in my eyes, but this fusion more than makes up for it, because are you holding the plant in your hand? Like, what is going on here? And let's see if you have any other sprites. You have no other sprites, but again, like, maybe the Golden Oasis is doing it a lot for me here, but very fire. All right, next up, let's check out Gyarados and Arceus. Surely this will be something just as interesting. I mean, Gyarados is like a Sea Leviathan, so maybe we'll get like some crazy Sea Leviathan god or something like that. Let's see what we got here. Well, that is not what I expected. We got Arctos. Why would you ever give Gyarados legs? Oh my god. Pretty cool design. No other sprites, unfortunately. Again, the colorway does do a lot for this, I won't lie, but I guess this is so far the quote-unquote weakest sprite of this episode, but this is by far like the weakest I've ever seen. Okay, I just realized I said by far the weakest I've ever seen. I meant by far not the weakest I've ever seen. Excuse me. All right, next up we have Arceus and Jirachi, which I think this is something I kind of want to see a lot of. I mean, Jirachi is another mon which I don't think I've seen fusions for really fail like that. So let's see if we'll get something pretty crazy here. And I had to speak too soon. So we got Jirachi. Please tell me there's another sprite. There surely has to be. Okay, and they're absolutely okay. Okay, so first, I completely ignored what I saw in front of me because that sprite on the right is just so attention grabby. But then I also see this in front of me, which is I think a biblically accurate angel, if I'm not wrong, like one of those angel designs that are apparently based on like the Bible's description of them or something like that. I'm not too sure. But then we have this and this, I'm assuming. These both have to be references to something. There's no way they're not. But this is such a fire design. Like this gives me like a whole, like, this is a god. This is a god I'm looking at here. And this is a crazy design at that. So again, like I did mention, Jirachi and Arceus both unfailing for their fusions, and it keeps it consistent, right? They almost got me too with that bait and switch of this guy. Very fire. All right, next up we have Jirachi and Arceus' second route. Let's see what we get here. Again, like I don't even know how you could beat that last one. They even baited me, so let's see if we can get something just as good here, or it might be another bait, or not. And we get Arcarachi or Arsarachi, whatever you pronounce it as. Definitely a pretty cool design. I wonder if you have any of the sprites. You do have other sprites. You have this one where he's kind of like sleeping, I guess, or sleeping floating. And then this one, which I will say I like this one more for the open eyes effect, as well as like you have that whole green sensor of you. Pretty good. Not as good as the last one, but I mean, how do you beat that last one? That last one was just insane. All right, next up we have Tyrantrum and Arceus, which I mean, I kind of keep using the same mons, but I mean, just because those mons give it the best fusion so far, right? Let's see, this one will keep it consistent. Now we got Tyrantius. You see, something about this is very cursed. I'm not sure if it's like the head or like the hands or the arms or legs, whatever you describe it as. It's your only design, and again, it was kind of cursed. I like the colorways a lot. Again, pretty good design overall. Definitely far from the worst I've seen, but not bad and not too crazy. Next up, we have Arceus and Tyrantrum's second route. Let's see what we get here. The last one was pretty cursed. This one's kind of crazy. Like, this one almost feels like a genetically modified dinosaur. I mean, you could say the same for the last one, but this one having two giant hind legs and like the two dinosaur T-Rex hands definitely does a lot more than the last design did. And you do have other sprites. Why is he with a monocle, a hat, and a cane? This is a crazy design. This is one of the best ones I've seen so far. There's no way it's not. I like how cool he looks. What? I almost even wanted to keep him, and I think even like as you can see, the whole orb like around his neck kind of looks a little bit tampered as well. Again, it's just a very fire design. It's a T-Rex with a monocle and a top hat. I'm not sure if it's a reference to something, but it is really fire. All right, next up we have Venusaur and Arceus, which I'm sure these two will have some crazy design. Let's see if we got something pretty interesting here. Surely. Okay, I'm liking the purple colorway a lot here. We got Arctor. You kind of have like a pearl like in the middle of your flower, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then you have like this one where he has like a grumpy face almost, and this one as well. I like how all three of these kind of look a little bit different. This one and the first one kind of seem to be the same, but just recolored or repalettes. But not bad overall. All right, this is Arceus and Venusaur second route. Let's see if we get something just as cool in this one. Surely, hopefully. Okay, so we got kind of like a grass god of sorts. No other design. The face is just too naked for me, unfortunately. The flowers are pretty cool though. Okay, so things are starting to weaken out a little bit for fusion references and all that. So hopefully this one will yield something just as interesting. I just did Venusaur. Let's go ahead and do Torterra and Arceus' first route. Again, let's see what we get here. Maybe this will be kind of like a little bit of a return to the crazy design. Okay, all right. So we have Torterra if his body is replaced with Arceus. And I can only assume that that's the spear pillar on its back, which is very fire. That's a crazy reference. What the hell are these two over here? So we have kind of like the tree of life or something here, like Venusaur or Torterra is like sleeping. Then we also have like this side where it's kind of like the same thing, but we have like a volcano, like the water kingdom. I'm not sure if that's like a reference to something. Maybe it's like a I thought it was like a Minecraft reference. But I'm not sure where this could be from, but nonetheless, really fire. All right, next up, let's try Rapidash and Arceus. Maybe we'll get like the god of horses or something, surely. All right, all jokes aside, though, I wonder what we can get here. Maybe something just as cool as the last couple. And you know what? All things considered, that is not bad design at all. I like the whole like dark cloud mane that it has going on. As well as kind of like the whole glorious like golden white. I mean, obviously it's from Arceus, but like the whole like glorious aura, I guess, that has going on, just very fire. And this one is just as cool. I kind of like the whole red colorway that has going on. I'm assuming that's from the fire from Rapidash. That's really cool. Seems to have, oh, there's a couple more sprites. So we have this one, which is I guess pretty normal. We have this fire one, which has the I guess it's essentially like Rapidash with Arceus armor. But then I saw this one, and if I'm not wrong, I think that's a JoJo reference here. I think this is one of Poochie's. Oh, okay, spoilers for people who are planning to watch JoJo. There is. I'll try to keep it, I guess, a little bit discreet. Even though I already said a name. But this is a villain stand, I think, if I'm not wrong. Which is a crazy stand in one of the later parts. And it has crazy power. I guess that's all I'll say. I'm trying to remember the name. Okay, yeah, so I was right. This is the stand name is called Made in Heaven. So this is a crazy stand, by the way. All I can say is that it has insane manipulating powers. That's all I can really say. Oh, but that's a pretty fire reference. And then we have like this cosmic horse. That's almost like Crystal Beast. Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus almost in terms of the design. I mean, I guess it's just a regular Pegasus, you can say. But it's pretty cool, pretty fire. All right, next up we have Arceus and Rapidash's second route. Let's see what we get here. Maybe something just as interesting. All right, so we got Arceus. Okay, so pretty cool. I mean, I guess it's just godly. You see, this is, I guess, what would be the god of Pokemon or the god of horses, right? No other design though, unfortunately, which is, I mean, it was a pretty good design. All right, next up, let's try Dusknoir and Arceus. It's been a while since I've used Dusknoir for any fusion since the beginning. So let's see what this will yield. Maybe it's like a crazy ghost tank of sorts. I'm not sure what it would be, but I mean, let's see what we get. Whoa, that's a crazy design. Duskius? I'm trying to think if I've seen something like this. And it seems to be the only design so far, but again, it's a pretty fire one at that. Hell, this might even be a different reference to something else. So if you recognize where this is from, let me know for sure. All right, next up we have Dusknoir and Arceus' second route. Let's see what we get here. That last one was pretty fire. Let's see if we keep it consistent with that. I mean, again, Arceus, like I mentioned, it just has a bunch of crazy fusions, and this is clearly nothing different. So we have Arknor here. I'm not sure what the reference could be here. I like the whole golden armor you have on. I like the cape. I like the blue. I'm not sure what that blue effect in the middle of your face is, but that looks pretty fire too. Overall, that's a pretty crazy design. I like the whole helmet aspect too. Let's see if you have another spray. You do, and you have, is that Master Hand? Is that Master Hand from Smash Bros? There's no way. If that is the case, that's really fire. I'm assuming that's Master Hand. If you guys haven't played the Smash Bros series, Master Hand is just a custom character that they made, which is just a literal giant hand But let me tell you, that hand, no pun intended, has hands. Like, he will beat your ass like it's nothing, right? He's a crazy boss, and he's a very cool design, I guess. Just a very simplistic hand inside a glove, but it's very intimidating, right? And both these designs, very fire. I'm very fond of this one too. Next up, let's check Cresselia and Arceus. Let's see what this one will bring us. I mean, surely it'll be like some crazy cosmic dream Pokemon, right? Jirachi was definitely fire. Let's see if this one carries it over. And it definitely looks like it does. I like the design a lot. It's kind of like, again, kind of exactly what I thought. A very cosmic, mystical dream Pokemon looking thing. I like the whole star effect that has going on around it. No other sprites beyond these three, but these are not bad overall. In my opinion, this one probably is the better one of the two because I like the yellow stars better than the gray ones. But definitely not bad either or overall. All right, next up is Arceus and Cresselia second route. Let's see what we got here. Surely something just as crazy, right? Hopefully. Okay, so we get Arceus with Cresselia's body, this is not the worst or most cursed design I've seen, but it's definitely something, right? Oh wow, like it's crazy how much colors can change a picture by so much, because the simple change of yellow to red changes this one to look so much better in my opinion. I don't know what it is. It's just, again, red just does so much wonders. But overall, these are like the only two sprites, and not bad. I like this one a lot. All right, now let's wrap things up with Mr. Mime and Arceus. Let's see what we got here. Now, I feel like this might be like Art the Clown or something like that's very cursed, but at the same time like gaudy in power. Or we just get Arc Mime, which is like, I'm not even sure if this is like a reference to something. It looks very interesting. The colors are very interesting. No other sprite though. Very, very unfortunate. But interesting design. Next up we have Arceus and Mr. Mime's second route. Let's see what we got here. Maybe something a little bit better than that last one. The last one was a little bit disappointing. Let's see what this one will give us though. Oh god, I mean, I'll say this, it's definitely cursed. Mr. Arceus. It's definitely cursed with like all those hands coming out of you. As well as like that head. What the hell is this design? Dude, you kind of have like an aspect of everybody. You have like Palkia's shoulders, you have Giratina's like back piece, Cresselia's crown, I guess. What is this a reference to? This has to absolutely be a reference to something. I'm not sure what. This can't be like a JoJo character or something. And why from Mr. Mime? Why would Mr. Mime create the god of gods, I guess you could say? I'm not sure, but if you recognize this reference, let me know. That's a crazy, crazy design. You almost remind me of like Ashura from like Ashura's Wrath or something, or like, again, I'm just not sure what you could be. You look crazy though. How do you go from this to this? That's just insane. But I guess we'll leave it off on this guy right here, this Psychic Normal Mon, Mr. Arceus. Crazy, crazy design. All right, and I think we will wrap things up with this guy right here, which that is an insane. I might even leave it at that. Like, that's such a crazy looking Mon. He gives me imposition of power. He makes me think he's like such a crazy Mon. Which if he is not a broken Mon, that's crazy. But again, if you guys did enjoy this one, let me know down below what you guys want to see next. If you did enjoy the episode overall, feel free to drop a like for sure. And if you haven't subbed to the channel thus far, then consider hitting that sub button to stay up to date with my content. And like I mentioned before, if you are not currently watching my randomized Nuzlocke series of this same game, I highly recommend you do so. It is full of a bunch of adventure, curiosity, and emotions being thrown all around the place, right? And with all that being said, as you guys head out, you guys take care of yourselves and have yourselves a damn good one. And I will see you guys in the next Pokemon video. Peace.